Welcome into Rover Sports here on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm back, and I appreciated all the feedback on Blaine Gabbert's Week 2 video. It's Week 3 now in the NFL, and it's time to get started. And I picked the Jacksonville Jaguars as a team that I would cover this week because Jacksonville is 0-3. Should Gus Bradley be fired? Is Blake Bortles just a quarterback that plays well at the end of games? Can he play well throughout games? He's sort of an unknown. He had great stats last year, um, but now it's kind of time to decipher whether he is the real deal in Jacksonville or if he's not, because I feel like a lot of you might not have had the opportunity to see this game live. And let's roll the tape. So first down for the Jags here. We see a little blitz off the edge. Yeldon does a nice job blocking. Yeldon's a very good blocking back. And we see that throw there. Just not a great play to start off the game. Then you see a handoff. Jacksonville's offensive line also really struggled in this game. Kelvin Beachum at left tackle was getting beat a lot. And Jeremy Parnell too, the other tackle, was also getting beat. Here you see very good protection. And let's see if Blaine's eyes go off, or let's see if Blake Bortles' eyes just go off of Allen Robinson. And he looks a little bit, but he knew the whole time he was going to Robinson. And that's pretty decent coverage there by Wright. Sharice Wright now wears 24, I believe. Um, Good coverage, and that there's just nowhere to put that ball. It's just kind of a poor design play, and essentially there's just nowhere to fit that in. It wasn't even a bad throw. Um, so it's a slow-moving first quarter here in Jacksonville. A lot of 3-and-outs. You see a run there, and 2nd and 7. You're going to see Bortles in the pocket here. Throw short underneath to Mercedes, and Eric Weddle's playing well. Baltimore's defense is underrated. They actually played very well watching it from the tape. Here you're going to see good separation. You're going to see Jimmy Smith does not match up with Allen Robinson there along the sidelines, and it's a completion. Here you see good cuts by Chris Ivory, although Ivory is not too effective. Ivory or Yeldon, not too effective against this Ravens defense that I think might be top 5 in both passing and rush defense throughout the year. And here you just see a complete slaughtering. I mean, the offensive line just gets completely blistered right here. Boy, oh boy, that is just sloppy football. Sloppy football. Gives you 3rd and 8 now. And here you're going to see, I mean, when Blake Bortles has a lot of pressure around him, his feet sometimes get still. He's not moving through his progressions enough. He should have hit this guy here. There's no hot routes here. The blitz came and completely surprised Blake Bortles and the offensive line. And there's no hot route to get the football off to defeat the blitz. And it's very hard to defeat a blitz when it takes you that long to try to find a receiver. So there needs to be more hot routes, and the ball needs to be out. Instead of hopping around like that, the ball needs to be out like a second and a half earlier, obviously. So Greg Olsen needs to dial up a play there when blitz is coming, and you need to have hot routes. You need to have that sort of, coverage. I believe the Ravens go 3-and-out again, and I believe that the Jags are going to get the football back here in the first quarter. You see, this play should have been a pick six, the second down play, because the linebacker here totally read Blake Bortles' eyes. Didn't go off of Julius Thomas the entire time, and there you see Correa could have had an interception. This play is 3rd and 8, and this is the one play where they really missed one because you're going to get Marcus Lee, and he's going to be working on Jimmy Webb again, or Jimmy Smith. And this throw is good protection. I wanted to see Blaine kind of step up in the pocket more because he flutters this one out, and it's over the wrong shoulder. If it's inside, it's a touchdown, but since it's over the wrong shoulder, it's not. If it's inside, it's a score because Eric Weddle's late. Jimmy Smith was beat. It could have been a long play to Marcus Lee that could have resulted in a touchdown, and that had to do with footwork. He got hung up in the pocket, and his footwork was not exactly the best. Blake Bortles is not light on his feet, and that's what's causing him to have trouble playing the position. All right, we're going to get going here. So Blake is going to take a little throw to Lee. Good pursuit by the Ravens. And then running the football, there's just nothing doing. The whole line. That's T.J. Yeldon making something out of nothing there. The right side of the line, not blocking at all. And you're going to see Bortles here. This is a terrific throw by Blake Bortles. I mean, the arm strength is there. Because if you watch this throw here, even though he just stares down this guy, he knows that Allen's going to uncover there, and that's Allen Robinson and Blake do have a great rapport. Here you see play action, and so this is the play in the game that was kind of a turning point, especially in the first half. So you have Terrell Suggs working against Parnell, right? And Suggs doing a good job on Parnell. He's pushing Parnell. So if you're Blake, why can't you go here and attempt to get something better than standing on your back foot and fluttering a ball when Terrell Suggs is right at your doorstep? You're just fluttering a ball right into coverage, to double coverage, triple there. And that's Alabama's C.J. Mosley making an incredible interception. C.J. Mosley's a stud, and he played like a stud today. He had 2 interceptions. So the Ravens' defense is actually is pretty impressive in this game, and I can see why. The team is 3-0 after some of these plays, especially by C.J. Mosley, making a big time play. And then I think we get a break for a while. Meaning that the Jags are not on the field until 11:02 to play in the second quarter. So the Ravens go on a long drive from that point. This is one of the better plays that you'll see from Blake right here, because you see him kind of stand in the pocket like a turret, looking here, looking here, looking here. He gets through 3 reads, good protection, and then he loops one in there. Really pretty throw, again, to Allen Hurns across the middle. So when the O-line was able to block, Bortles was able to decipher the holes in the zone and properly get through 3 reads of coverage. You're going to see Chris Ivory just get hammered. Again, really tough sledding all day long. The O-line just tough sledding. The Ravens just dominated the game in the trenches, and Parnell, Beacham just got blistered the whole game, and that's why Blake Bortles was forced to rush. That's why his stats aren't even that good. Little play action. Here you see a very nice setup, though, the Mercedes going down the sideline. So a pretty nice play design. Fortunately, we're going to get a hold on the Jags. Oh, man. This is a good throw that Allen Hurns needs to make this play. In pressure, stares down the receiver, but he puts it in a good spot. And that's a good hit by Eric Weddle. But Allen Hurns, it wasn't Lee. I don't think it was Lee. It's Allen Hurns needs to make that catch. This is a big play. You need to make the catch. And then on 3rd and 7, really good defense by Zach Orr. Let's see Blake's eyes if he changes this at all.
Yeah, he wasn't home.
So Blake Bortles' eyes like barely change here. And it results in a punt. Alrighty. So, getting some people coming into the room. Apologize. Let's go now to it's a nice kickoff return by Rashad Green out of Florida State. He's not really getting utilized in this offense. Thought he would be a really good player playing with Jameis Winston a couple of years ago. But he's not really utilized in the passing game right now. It's Marcus Lee, it's Hearns. It's a good run by TJ Yeldon here. Yeldon hitting Norwell. Second and 1, you get a stretch play, and it gets completely stuffed. Why are you doing a stretch play? Why can't you run it in between the tackles? Then third and 2. You luckily have Allen Robinson out there to make a play for you. Luckily you have Allen, who is as sure-handed as anybody, who in this game you can even tell how talented he is. And this throw right here could have been another pick. Because look, they're only rushing like 4 guys, and they're getting home because you see the problem with this play is that Blake is forced to rush, and they have a lot of guys back there in coverage. They still have 7 guys back there. This isn't even a blitz. And you're just seeing Parnell getting pushed back, and then Parnell's not sustaining his block. So it could be a strip fumble if Blake doesn't get rid of the ball right now. And it's all because of Parnell, and then he's forced to throw in the triple coverage near the goal line, and that ain't going to end so well. It's fortunate that was incomplete. Then Blake's going to go ahead and hit Lee for a couple yards. Good throw again on a slant. And then we have a crucial third down. Let's see what happens here. It's a nice play by Blake Bortles here. Even though his feet are really slow, even though he's really stodgy in the pocket and his feet looks like he's moving in quicksand sometimes, he at least hops up in the pocket there. And I give him credit for at least trying to move well, and he moved very well there to make a throw to Allen Robinson again. Chris Ivory trying to get anything, which just doesn't happen. Maybe Greg Olson's like, my guards just can't block the interior line of the Baltimore Ravens. And that would be an accurate depiction. Accurate depiction there. Here's a play action. And there's Allen Robinson again sealing himself on right for a touchdown. So Blake Bortles showing a little arm strength, getting outside the pocket, making a play, putting a really accurate ball on Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson out here just so fundamentally sound compared to a lot of receivers in football. He's one of the more underrated players in the entire league. And he's out here making plays. So overall, the drive, Blake Bortles took what the defense gave him, stepped up in the pocket nicely, took advantage of a short field. So even though the blocking and they couldn't run the ball, Blake on play action was able to make some plays. And now we can hop ahead to 11:53 to go in the third quarter of play. So here we go, folks. The Ravens go ahead and tack on 2 field goals because they go into intermission, get a field goal, come out and get a field goal as well. So blurry picture should clear up. Another short little dump off there, and Allen Hearns gets walloped by USC's Shareek Wright. Right. Oh boy, we're still blurry at this point for some reason. TJ Yeldon, a little, I don't know why you would ever run a quarterback draw with Mr. Bortles, but they happen to do it. And then 3rd and 5. This is very good quarterbacking by Blake Bortles. So I'm just trying to get out of a little bit of the 5 zone, and we are. Tell you why this is good quarterbacking, okay? It's good quarterbacking because you see a blitz, and he hops up and he sees the open pocket, feels the pocket very well, he keeps his eyes downfield. He could have hit this guy right here. He really could have, and it probably would have still been a first down if he hit Lee. Instead, he decides to throw in an open window. Because of his footwork, he allows himself to get an open window, and he executes through that window there. As he hits Allen Hurns. One more time in clear view. This is one of the better plays he has because he's slow, but he's able to still move and make a good throw there to Allen Hurns across the middle. So that's a big conversion indeed for the Jags. Blake here in the pocket, gets a lot of time, and this is a throw that just has no touch. This reminds me of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Same kind of ball Fitzpatrick can't throw either. Julius Thomas and Bortles are not on the same page at all. There's not a lot of separation from McClellan, but that's just a flat throw with no arc. There's a gun. That is a really nice slant pattern that was gunned in there to Marcus Lee. And Marcus Lee's making some plays. Marcus Lee's making some plays in this game. Ivory for barely anything. 3 yards is a good day on this day. You see pressure, and it's again a beautiful throw to Lee. Look at Bortles here, what he deals with all of this pressure coming in. 69 just doesn't block. Shatley and shatting the bed, so to speak, and I mean it's crazy. And then he throws a very nice ball all the way across the field. Goes Marcus Lee, and Lee making a freaking play. Lee making some plays. Then Blake, I want to see them throw the football down the field, and you're just going to see pressure, and he makes the most of it. Again, I mean, I didn't like how he just continues to hop back. I mean, his first inclination in the pocket is to just bounce back. But, hey, making a play. Then I think you might get a little tack on it. All right, this is where I have a problem with Greg Olsen, the offensive coordinator of the Jags. Also the tight end of the Carolina Panthers is probably never Olsen, though. On 2nd and 1, I believe that they ran a stretch. Let me go back to 2nd and 1 for a second, if you guys don't mind. They tried to run a stretch play to the guards instead of going in the tackles. So Jacksonville cannot run up the middle at all. That's a weakness that they really have, especially against the Ravens. They need to get jump yards, and then they decide to run this low percentage swing screen pass. And you need 2 yards, and they're lucky Marcus Lee was able to fight and get a first down. Just they can't run the football at all. And then you're going to see here Allen Robinson make a play. I know Sharice Wright gets his hand in there at the end. This is the classic Calvin Johnson. Des Bryant, is it a catch or isn't it a catch? Look at him rolling across the end zone like that. He holds the ball for an eternity. They still almost ruled it an incomplete pass. There in real time, it's close. But look, I mean, he comes down with it in the end zone, rolling across. I think it's an appropriate call to call it a touchdown at that point. Jacksonville's going to get the rock back. 3:32 to go. There you see a little Mercedes. You see Julius Thomas getting in the action. So far, no real vertical challenges down the field by the Jaguars. They maybe realize that Bortles has no time. And even when the Ravens will rush 4 guys and have 7 in coverage, they still cannot block it adequately. This is Blake just getting a little too fancy here with his footwork. I mean, he's just like, what is he, dancing in middle school? This is called dancing in middle school type of footwork, where you have a good pocket here. Just relax. This is your home. Relax. You don't need to go over here, do all these crazy little whoops and doops. You don't need to be whooping. And this play is just nuts. Just Blaine getting a little out of himself, a little ahead of himself. So not only does the guy, Blake Bortles, not really have great protection on these plays, and not only does he have really slow footwork, but yeah, he doesn't have great protection, doesn't have great footwork, but he's making the most of it. I mean, he has a decent arm. If the guy has protection, I mean, he's going to dial it up. He can at least show the ability to read defenses. There's some bright points in this game. This is not the easiest of sledding for this offense. Very conservative, again, trying to take what the defense is giving you. The Ravens just dialing up a really good plan. Pressing receivers. Here they're sending a lot. And that's unfortunate that the ball got tipped there. That could have been a decent play. He made the right read again. So here we go with Blake throwing what could have been an interception. Again, just not great footwork. This Jacksonville offense just not explosive because they can't block at all. They're one-dimensional and just getting dominated in the game. And for Gus Bradley, I mean, it's time for Gus Bradley to start winning games or be held accountable for actions. Here's Bortles here, and this is just sad. The guy just has no chance here. So although there are flaws to Bortles' game, the guard, Shatley, shats the bed right there. Gets beat. Tyler Eleanor Shatley. And then you're just giving up at that point in time. All right, so 5:14 to go in the game now is when the Jags are going to get an interception return all the way in Baltimore territory. You are thinking, oh boy, Gus and this team's going to win their first game. You need 4-minute offense. You're not going to get any sort of 4-minute drill right here. You need to take the clock down, and you get stuffed on 2 runs. So now you're tough in a tough position on 3rd and 10. You try to go with a safe 4-yard throw. Blake tries to go really conservative. Freak play. Ball gets batted down, and that really hurts you at this stage because you could have had Mr. Myers come out there and kick a field goal. Instead, no. And now you just went from a 4-point advantage where Baltimore needs to score a touchdown, and you, my friends, are not looking so good. We see Justin Tucker being a hero again, like he was in Detroit a couple of years ago. Believe it or not, Joe Flacco gives the Jaguars another gift. Only 2 timeouts now. So Jacksonville, if they get a first down, they're going to bleed this thing out. The problem is you can't run the football in the middle. You can't run the football at all. The top run of this game is maybe 9 yards. And then let's see. I mean, you have a little bit of protection, but the protection goes to waste. And then Myers actually gets blocked. So the Jacksonville Jaguars were up by 1 point, had 2 possessions inside the 30-yard line off of Flacco turnovers, and they come away with no points. That's essentially a great way in the 4th quarter to ensure yourself that you have a possibility of losing a game. Losing plays. And a lot of that comes down to you just need to simply run the ball in the middle of the field and run it effectively. But when you're getting beat in the trenches, you're so limited. And then you're going to see a heroic kick by Justin Tucker here. And then the last drive is a combination of just errors. Last drive of the game, this is the play that loses the game. Because you have just, the rush is just too much. Blake just trying to make a play, gets sacked, and look at the next play. Believe we have a hole. Where's Terrell Suggs? I believe Suggs gets held. He does. Jeremy Parnell, who's got beat all day, holds Terrell Suggs. And then the game's essentially over, and C.J. Mosley can make an interception and triple coverage to lose. So overall, Blake Bortles' funky delivery, the footwork is not quite there, but his offensive line and running game against this defense didn't provide any support. I think Blake Bortles, with time, with Allen Robinson and Marquise Lee emerging, could be a very good passing game. And there were a lot of eternal factors in this game that definitely allowed Jacksonville and Blake to struggle, i.e. the offensive line, Parnell and Kelvin Beachum and Shatley, who had to fill in, as a guard or a center. And then you look at not running the ball. So that's my analysis of Blake and Jacksonville.